Okay. It's been a minute since I did just like a regular recording, but the Switch Pro or the newer like Switch model, Switch OLD or OLED, something like that. It just came out recently and wasn't really gonna like make a video, but I was like, then I started watching Hungrybox's video on it, him talking about it, and I'm just like, and I'm just sitting here talking to myself, and you know how like YouTubers pretty much they talk to themselves constantly. It doesn't look like it until they upload the video, but pretty much that's what they're doing. So I'm just sitting here just talking to myself, and I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and like hit record something like this and just go in. It might be like a pseudo reaction because I don't think I'll download his video to like put it up and like in front of like you guys and whatnot. It'll just be like pure audio, so who knows. But so far I'm at like the 2 minute and like 24-second mark in case you guys want to like go back and like see what's up and shit. But so far I'm kind of hyped for it because not only for like the white aspects of it, because like for some reason white, black, and gray, they all just like hit depending on almost like no matter where you put them on, you like on a TV, on a game console, on a laptop, whatever the fuck, you know. I did have like some friends that was hoping that you can get like the white Joy-Cons separately and not have to only, and they're not only available for this new Switch, because that white, that looks fantastic. Oh my goodness, like I said earlier. So yeah, because of the white, because it looks kind of like more sleek, and then the biggest thing for me and my situation myself, the LAN port. Oh shit, I didn't mean to exit out, but the fucking LAN port, because I'm a Smash player, even though I do have days where like my internet is like pretty fucking decent, it's like, you know, that is taking like a gamble whether it's gonna be good or it's gonna be bad or not. So, and then, you know, with me gradually wanting to like improve and get like better and shit, I know that I would need like better, more stable connections to, you know, fight more people consistently, or even like enter tournaments and whatnot. That's like Wi-Fi tournaments, and oh, you could say that like since offline has been steadily coming back, we really don't need Wi-Fi that much. But I mean, Wi-Fi still has like its uses for playing with people like outside of your state or country, or for people hosting like subscriber tournaments and shit. You know, I would definitely love to like enter those and like get my name out there all that much more from those. So yeah, that's like a big factor for me too, because like not only am I struggling with like money issues, and honestly getting this Switch would end up saving me money, and that's because I was already planning on buying another Switch like before, to, you know, for like different purposes, to like more so for like advertising purposes, because to have like multiple public arenas with like my stuff on there as the title, on top of like, this is one of the first consoles I actually wanted to own like more than like one of, for some reason. But that's pretty nice. But yeah, it would end up saving me money because, like I just said, on top of, I still haven't gotten a LAN adapter. And what was crazy to me too is that I don't fuck with, not that I don't fuck with it, but it was kind of like absurd to me that you had to get like a Nintendo brand exclusive LAN adapter in order to you know, make your LAN cords work with your Switch. Because I tried getting a regular LAN adapter before, but it didn't work, and I'm like, and it was brand new one too, and I doubt it was like the people that I brought it from, you know. And it's like, then when I seen how much like the Nintendo brand ones were, I was like, damn, that shit is expensive. Because how much is that shit now? It'll take me a while to look, but I think last I seen it was like at least like $40 or something like that. And I'm like, dude, that's fucking expensive. And I'm like, ugh. I ain't that rich. Barely. 32. You're green. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm like, dude, that is huge. Because I should be able to use like a $10 one. Because it's a little LAN adapter. I'm not going to use. I doubt I would like find much use for that shit outside of like for the Switch. So I'm like, come on now. But yeah, save money on that, on those fronts. And it already seems like really good for me too, because I want to improve. I want to like enter more tournaments. I want to like play more frequently and shit with friends, and not just have to like sit on the sidelines, and not just have to, and also not to have to hope for my internet to be good that night or that day. Um, so yeah, that's like a good thing for me. Let's get back to this video.
It is by not needing an adapter, but when you consider that a lot of switches are used for tournaments, that's actually one less port for people to plug in their pro controllers into, and one less port in general to plug in peripherals and other things. So, especially if you're someone who uses the official Nintendo Switch Pro adapter for the game controllers, and you want to use USB and Rumble. If you want to use USB and Rumble, and you want to have speakers, and you want to use your Pro controller, you're gonna have to go at least one of those. So, actually,
I thought about that, and I thought about that with that point that Hungrybox said, was that one's kind of almost like a moot point. I'm not really BS, but it's like almost like a non-issue, unless like all the previous Switch consoles just end up like flatlining or like just not working as soon as this new Switch comes out. That would be some really fucked up shit. But that's kind of like a moot point, because most people and most companies, TOs, places, they already have like switches on switches on switches for different tournaments and shit. So that's kind of like that's not really like a point for like, because I doubt those same people will just end up switching over, or they have enough money to like just switch over for like the new switches, just like that. Because then it's like, then you have to buy a whole nother thing, and instead of like probably set up like a whole nother account, so that would just be a whole hassle. So that's kind of like a moot point, and then people would just get still, especially like TOs and people at like tourneys, they would still just have the original Switch ones. Or as I've seen in like some of the tournaments that I went to, they would just have like extra extensions. So yeah, that's kind of like a really almost like a non-issue, not unless like a TO just mass buys a new Switch, which would be kind of stupid on their part. So yeah.
40 GB internal storage. It says the audio is enhanced. Doesn't really say much. 3 modes in one: TV, tabletop, and handheld mode.
Right on.
Joy-Cons and the console itself seems to come in a white color now. Everything else is essentially the same. The big selling point of this entire console, and the reason Nintendo wants you to buy it, is because of that 7-inch OLED screen. I myself have to admit, I'm not sure I'm personally sold on buying this, mainly because
because then that's the thing. It comes down to like personally too, because like that would benefit my situation, as I like explained it before. I haven't gotten like an LAN adapter, and it's like it would definitely save me money. But yeah, for most people, it depends. Each unique situation.
Console almost 99% of the time on my dock, right? Or on my monitor. I plug it into my dock, I play on my monitor,
right?
Stream it, and that's why I play Ultimate. On the go,
that white looks good.
But apart from that, the only difference I can see in buying this model, as someone who plays it with the dock mode almost exclusively, literally is just a built-in LAN adapter, which I don't need a built-in Ethernet plug. I already have that covered. So literally,
yeah, that's what I'm saying, because like pretty much I'm in the same situation where it's almost exclusively on the dock. But the main difference between my situation and his is that I don't have a LAN adapter. I don't have the Nintendo. I didn't buy the Nintendo exclusive one, and Hungrybox got money to spare for that shit. But yeah.
I mean, this actually makes no difference whatsoever. I'm pretty sure the dock.
And I think that's pretty much how it's going to be for most people.
It's just, it leaves me wanting more. If they would have included 4K with this, if they would have included some sort of upgrades to the games and the graphics.
Actually, you know, I just thought about that too because it's $30. 28, 29, 32, 43. There it is. 43 fucking dollars. That is insane. 47. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. No, even then, because I was starting to think that it probably might not save me money because of, you know, if unless that shit is like 47. This is insane. Unless that shit is like 47, then it probably wouldn't be that much. But no, it still would because I was already planning to get another Switch, so that I would have had to potentially buy another LAN adapter. So yeah, that probably would be like maybe like 100 to like save. I'm not sure the exact amount, but yeah. Okay. Now that's my thing. Can you just use any LAN port?
Screen a lot more bright. People love bright screens. That's in the era of smartphones. Everyone loves bright screens. But for a console, I get that they merged the idea of a console and held together. But you need to appeal to both audiences. They did only handheld upgrades, not really console upgrades, apart from the built-in Ethernet plug.
And again, that's for people like me that got started later on. So that makes sense. And that's a valid point. Because I didn't get my Switch or Smash until like early 2020. Yeah, just about early 2020 because I had my first year of Switch Online for about a year. And it was around March. Yeah, so I got my Switch in like 2019 December, and then yeah, it was about like 2019 December, and then like dope this to my brother's boyfriend for selling me his old wood for a really cheap price with everything that came to it. That was nice.
More console upgrade itself. And another thing people are going to find really annoying about this is that the biggest gripe the most people had with the original console was the Joy-Cons, with Joy-Con drift. And the fact is, on the website, I'm telling you, if they had any upgrade to the Joy-Con apart from the color at all, they would have mentioned it. But they just said, this is the Joy-Con. Included Joy-Con controllers, give you total gameplay flexibility. Not sure about that if my controller is drifting every 5 seconds. So,
right.
I mean, people are going to buy it, but Nintendo should have and could have done a lot more, I feel. Maybe they were focused a lot on the games. It looks like it comes in a white set and a neon red, neon blue set. So it looks like they're ditching the original gray color for this set. You can only buy it in white or the neon red.
That still looks nice.
But nothing else seems to be different. that's basically it. Even still, even if they made a new console that supported 4K and supported, you know, a lot better frame rates, a lot of games, and all future games from here on out included that 4K capability and 60 FPS, that would have been really, really cool. Like, we're okay. I think the Nintendo general audience, whether it's casual, competitive, or whatever it might be, I think we accept the old games that we have as is. Like, I know Ultimate is 1080p 60 FPS. I know that. I know that Animal Crossing runs at like 30 FPS, but it still is, for most people, enjoyable. Like, if people still play the games, they still consider them enjoyable. It's not a deal breaker. But having a new console with that capability for all future games would have been that much more exciting because it would have built up so much more hype, would have been looking forward so much more to all future games that come out, and that would have been it. It would have given, you know, even third-party developers a bigger chance to shine, and a bigger chance to showcase what their talents are and how they can create games with that sort of new environment. But same Switch, same software, and if you're a huge Halo person, I would, you know, probably go ahead and buy it and enjoy it. But if you're like me, I'm gonna need a little more to